Hi. Just a few days ago, someone on Facebook said to me, "What are you so depressed about? What don't you have?" I have been asked this same question a million times before, so I kept thinking, why don't I just make a video about it and spill out everything? So today, let's talk about depression. When I say talk, I don't mean going into textbook description of depression. I'm just going to talk about what I feel as a chronic depression patient. I'd love to go into details about how it all started, but for some personal reasons I can't do that. I can only mention that it all started about 16 or 17 years ago. Since then it has been killing me slowly. I hope someday I'll gather up enough courage to talk about that too. For now, let's just talk about feelings. The point of this video is not to make anyone more or less depressed. It is to express my feelings as a depressed person, hoping to be not judged or looked down upon. Also, probably to answer the questions I'm not even sure of. Anyway, depression doesn't necessarily come because you don't have certain things. While it stirs up depression in some cases, lacking in something is not always responsible for depression. Depression can stay with you even when you have everything to be glad about your life. Sadness and depression are quite different. For example, if you fail an exam, you get sad. With time, when you pass another exam and get good grades, you tend to forget about your past sadness. But depression is like a leech, always sucking at your happiness, self-esteem, physical and mental energy. And it leaves you tired and exhausted all the time. As for me, I always feel like I'm not good enough, like I will never be happy. Even the smallest task feels very difficult or even impossible to do. I feel like I am walking through life carrying an unbearable weight on my shoulders. As if a constant darkness is always surrounding me. I don't even remember the last time when I woke up in the morning and felt glad to be up again. When I am assigned with a job, people say I do it perfectly. Apparently everybody believes in me, but I don't have any faith in myself. Depression has destroyed my self-esteem like this. Even when I see the proof that I have done something, I call it an accident. Like I was never ready for it or worthy of such credit. Writing stories, reading books or drawing used to bring me so much joy, but everything now feels empty and joyless. I read a book cause I have to, but I barely can focus in it. I draw cause I have too many pencils and colors, but I hardly feel any joy. I hate to admit it, but even though I seemingly have everything to be glad about life right now, I don't feel happiness. I may smile or even laugh time to time, but there is this constant sadness that is always tugging at my sleeves. I never quite had any friend, at least not someone who approached me and befriended me by themselves. I was always neglected, looked down upon, bullied and laughed at. I learned to accept it. I thought I'd be okay without friends. I thought if I helped others without keeping any expectation, I'd be loved in time and maybe I would get some friends too, who would understand me or at least try to, but I was wrong about that. I feel so detached from everyone. No matter how hard I try, I can barely get close to people, and when I do, I become so pathetically clingy, which I hate. I want to spend some time with someone and then feel bad about it because I feel like I'm not worthy of anybody's time. I feel sorry for myself. I apologize constantly to people. Every time I look in the mirror, I am greeted by a reflection that feels foreign. The person staring back at me seems like a stranger, and every flaw, every imperfection is magnified. It's a constant battle against the critical voice in my head that tells me I'm not good enough, that I will never measure up, that I am ugly. I get overwhelmed easily. Some days it's a struggle just to get out of bed. and go through the emotions. I'm physically tired, but it's more than that. It's a bone-deep awareness that comes from carrying this heavy emotional burden day in and day out. I find myself avoiding social situations, not because I want to, but because the thought of interacting with others feels daunting. It's like I'm wearing a mask, trying to hide the turmoil inside me. I don't want to burden anyone with my pain, so I isolate myself instead. And I also hate that I'm unable to socialize. At times, the darkness becomes suffocating. It whispers that there is no way out, that I am trapped in this never-ending cycle of despair. In those moments, the idea of an escape, of ending it all, can feel like a tempting itself. I think about killing myself a lot, but I have realized that I can't do that. I should not. Life is unpredictable. I want to see what life has in store for me. No matter how hard it may get, I want to see it through. I didn't choose what happened to me, or what I am, or how I am, but I choose to see till the end. I know I will never be happy from within. All my love will be a lie, but I'm still willing to experience that. Most importantly, my family doesn't deserve to go through the pain and possible suffering in my absence. Because of depression and constant physical and mental torture, I should have become a monster myself, but something in me rebelled against this thought. I promised that I would never be cruel to anybody. I would face cruelty with kindness. I know people laugh at me all the time, so I promised I would never laugh at anybody. I would face mockery and humiliation with empathy and love. I know I will never have a friend who will choose me just as I am. It's not their fault. I lack those qualities to be anybody's friend, but I want to embrace the smallest happy moment, however transitory it may be. I want to experience life. Before I finish this, I want to thank Adib, Rudra, Hriday, Raihan, Adil, David, Maruf, and especially my lovely students for being patient with me, as long as they could at least. Some of them still are patient with me. I want to thank everyone who has helped me through my journey so far. I admit I am a depressed person and I always feel like a failure. As much as I hate it about myself, I guess it's okay. It's okay to be not okay. Not everyone has to be super excited about life all the time and motivated to undertake any challenge to face. It's okay to be not okay. It's okay to be not okay. Oh, I'm sweating. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Learn to be ashamed of all my scars. Out of the way, they say no one will love you as you are.